Hey guys, hope you're doing well. In this guide, I'm going to be showing you everything you'll need to know in order to get the most experience and money from the blast mine. In order to start this method, I highly recommend having at least 75 mining. This is because in the blast mine, you can get ore 10 levels higher than your current mining level, which means as soon as you are level 75, you can start acquiring rune ore. The quickest way to get to the blast mine is to use the Inferno teleport on the Xerix talisman. That'll bring you right to the green circle on the map. If you don't have a Xerix talisman, you can always use fairy rings, and with the code CIS, it'll bring you to the red circle on the map, and then you'll just follow the path over to the minecart. That'll take you into the Lovacane house, and then you'll just run north to get to the mine. If you can't use either of these methods, you can always go into the standard spellbook and use the Karen teleport. That'll take you to the blue circle, and then you'll just follow the path up to the blast mine. This is the setup you should be using if you're 99 hit points. You should be using the hit point skill cape, the regen bracelet, full prospector. You can also use the Varrock Elite top, and then you should have an infernal pickaxe or a dragon pickaxe. I'd also recommend having the highest explorer's ring you can for the energy regeneration. The shield slot doesn't matter, and the amulet slot also doesn't matter. If you are not 99 hit points, you should be replacing the hit point skill cape with some kind of weight reducing cape. It could be a spottier cape, an agility cape, or a graceful cape, something that will just reduce your weight. You should also be replacing the regen bracelet with weight reducing gloves. These can either be graceful gloves or the penance gloves. The main item you'll need for blast mining is the dynamite. You can either acquire this through the Grand Exchange for current prices of about 750 to 800 GP per dynamite, or if you're an Iron Man, you can buy it from a store in the Lovacane house for about 1150 GP. If you don't want to do either of these two methods, you can always make your own dynamite, except the process is pretty lengthy, so I definitely recommend not doing that. You deposit all of your blasted ore into the sack. When the sack reaches 450 of any type of ore, you won't be able to put any more blasted ore in, and will need to collect your ore from the operator. At levels 90 and above, it takes about 980 dynamite to fill the sack, which takes a little over 3 hours. If you use the cycles shown later in the video, you should be able to get 312 dynamite per hour. At higher levels, this comes out to be about 65 to 75k per hour, depending on which ores you get. You could probably get 80k an hour, but you'd have to get extremely lucky with RNG. You can boost this experience by wearing full prospector and using the dragon pickaxe special whenever you can. The bonus experience from full prospector is taken into account when you're collecting the ore, so make sure you're at least wearing the full set when you collect. In terms of money per hour, the 312 dynamite will cost you about 250k at current prices. At 90 plus mining, you should get about 900k worth of ore from the sack. Subtracting the cost of the dynamite, you get about 650k profit per hour. This will range anywhere from 500k to 800k though, depending on your mining level. There's a few questions I wanted to answer before showing you the cycles. The first is, can you get a pet here? And the answer to that is yes, you can get the mining pet. The second is, does the ore stay in the sack if you leave or if you log out? The answer to that is also yes. You can leave the area, you can hop worlds, and you can log out for who knows how long, and your ore will still stay there. One thing I haven't been able to test is whether the damage taken from the dynamite blowing up scales with your hit points level. I know that at level 99 hit points, you take between 12 and 15 damage from the dynamite, and I've also seen that at level 80 hit points, you also take the same amount of damage. That leads me to believe that at lower levels, you'll still take the same amount of damage, so if you're lower leveled hit points, you might want to be careful when you're blowing up the dynamite. Now that all this information is out of the way, let's move on to the inventory setup and how to do all of the cycles. This is what your inventory should look like. You should have the noted dynamite, a stamina potion, a chisel, a tinderbox, as well as unnoted dynamite. I've labeled each of the walls, and I'm going to be referring back to these as I show you a real-time example of how to do each of the cycles. I'll be putting on screen how to blow up the dynamite as well as how to pick up the ore during each of the cycles. You're going to see me use two symbols while I'm showing you the cycles. The first symbol is the pound or hashtag, and that represents depositing your ore into the sack. The second symbol you'll see is the star. This indicates that you're going to excavate the rock and place the dynamite and light it before continuing on in the cycle. Here's an example of me doing an entire inventory of dynamite and showing you each of the cycles. At the beginning of this third cycle is where having 99 hit points really matters. If you do have 99 hit points, you can just follow the order on screen. If you don't, you still follow the order, except you wait to light both the dynamite. So if you don't have 99 hit points, you're going to place A, place B, and then light B and light A right after. This way you aren't taking any damage, and then you don't have to worry about dying. Here's some quick ways to increase your experience per hour. When you deposit your ore, during the animation, you should be spam clicking on whatever action you're going to do next, whether it be clicking on another wall or banking. By doing this, your character is going to save a tick from speed walking to its next location. The second one is banking. When you deposit your ore in the sack, you should use your noted dynamite on the bank. When your character is running there, you should right click on the wall in position 3 and keep the menu up. Once you see your player reach this specific square, press the number 1 and click on the excavate option. Your character should unnote the dynamite without stopping and then run to the wall. The next way to sort of increase your XP per hour is to not misclick on the spider that roams around the blast mine. In order to fix this, you can go into your game settings, go into the game controls, then you can go to your NPC attack options and change them to hidden. This way you'll never end up misclicking on the spider. That's basically all I've got for the blast mining video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and if there's anything I missed, I'll make sure to add it to the description. Thanks for watching, take care.